I'm Linda, and this is No Frills ASMR. So, today I am going to do something similar to what I've done before, which is tell you a fact about each of the U.S. presidents. And I will just trace around the president while we do that, just for relaxation, with just enough content to hopefully help you relax or even fall asleep. So, get my pen out. I guess I'll just use one of my dark gray pens here. Set that aside. So the facts that I have for today. I have this box that I bought at the secondhand store, and it is jumbo-sized fact cards and fun games. And it has 52 cards, which include these that are Air Force One, the White House, Inauguration Day, presidential pets, fast fact games, the United States flag, First Ladies, money, the presidential seal in the Oval Office. So we're not going to use these today. And these cards are older, so they only go up to President Barack Obama. They don't go past that, and that's okay, because I don't want to get into politics. So we will only be doing facts up to Barack. And the facts that I'm going to read are the ones that... Here's George Washington's card. And they have the dates he was in office, which president he was, what his party was, and then 3 facts. But I think we'll read this fast fact. Will they overlap with the facts I told you before? I don't know, maybe. Maybe. But, so I will just move them from here to here, and we'll read the fast fact while we look at their picture on here. And hopefully you can see okay. If you're here for the sound of the marker, somebody told me that it's a waste of my time because you can't hear it. But I don't know what to do about that, so I don't know if you'll hear it or not. I think it depends on your headphones, because I actually can hear it on my headphones, but they're good. They're Sennheiser, so. And on my other pair of Bose that my husband has, some like noise canceling, I can hear it on there. But on my Beats earbuds, I cannot. Anyway, that's beside the point. All right, George Washington. His fast fact. George Washington had only one tooth of his own. Sorry, trying to read. George Washington had only one tooth of his own when he became president. His false teeth were made of human and animal teeth. I thought when I was a kid, they said his teeth were made of wood. I, for some reason, feel like I remember that. But they say here, false teeth were made of human and animal teeth. Can you imagine? What animal, I wonder? John Adams. Adams and his wife Abigail and their children were the first family to live in the White House, then called the President's House. Jefferson. Jefferson invented America's money system of dollars and cents. He is pictured on the $2 bill and also on the nickel. James Madison. In 1814, British soldiers set fire to the White House. Madison's wife, Dolly, saved a painting of George Washington. James Monroe. Monroe was the third president to die on July 4th. How crazy is that? John Adams and Thomas Jefferson were the first two presidents to die on that date. So out of 5 presidents, 3 of them died on July 4th. That is an interesting fact. John Quincy Adams. President Adams liked to swim every morning without clothing in the Potomac River. He also kept a pet alligator at the White House. Where did he keep the alligator? Andrew Jackson. Jackson's enemies called him a donkey. That is how the donkey became the symbol of the Democratic Party. I did not know that. I did not. Donkey. Martin Van Buren. Van Buren's family had come to America from Holland. He and his wife spoke Dutch to each other while in the White House. William Henry Harrison. When Harrison ran for president, he ran with a man named John Tyler. Their campaign saying was, Tippecanoe and Tyler too. Tippecanoe and Tyler too. Here's John Tyler. John Tyler. There is a story that John Tyler was playing marbles with his children when he found out he was president. Well, much more interesting to have an alligator at the White House. Okay. James K. Polk. In his farewell address, Polk told the country that the California gold strike was true. This caused the gold rush of 1849. Zachary Taylor. Zachary Taylor wore such sloppy, dirty clothes that people meeting him on the street Did not know he was president. Ew. Millard Fillmore. Fillmore was the first president to have a stove in the White House. Before that time, there was only an open fire for cooking. Wow, that's interesting. Franklin Pierce. Pierce had an amazing memory. He memorized his entire first speech as president, all 3,319 words, and recited it without notes. No notes. No notes. James Buchanan. James Buchanan was the only president who never married. His orphaned niece served as the White House hostess. I think that may have been the fact last time. Abraham Lincoln. There is a story that President Lincoln liked to keep important papers in his tall hat. Andrew Johnson. Johnson knew how to sew really well. He worked as a tailor when he was a boy. Ulysses S. Grant. Grant was the only president to get a speeding ticket. He got it while driving a horse and carriage. They were taken away from him. The horse and carriage. Wow. How fast was he going? Rutherford B. Hayes. Hayes was the first president to have a phone in the White House. His number was 1. James A. Garfield. Garfield could write well with both his hands. That's cool. For fun, he would write in different language with each hand at the same time. Chester A. Arthur. Arthur loved fancy clothes and parties. He redecorated the White House while in office and put in its first elevator. Grover Cleveland. Cleveland liked to do everything himself. He often answered the White House phone. Benjamin Harrison. Harrison and his wife were the first family to have electric lights in the White House. Grover Cleveland again. So we'll move on to William McKinley. McKinley had a pet parrot. One story says that he and his parrot would whistle the song Yankee Doodle together. Theodore Roosevelt. The teddy bear was named for Theodore Teddy Roosevelt after people learned he chose not to shoot a bear on one of his hunting trips. William Howard Taft. Taft and Teddy Roosevelt were good friends. While he was president, some people said Taft's name meant take advice from Teddy. T-A-F-T, take advice from Teddy. Woodrow Wilson. Wilson was a huge baseball fan. He was the first president to attend a World Series game. Warren G. Harding. Harding liked playing card games and played poker every week. There is a story that he once lost a set of White House dishes in a game of poker. Calvin Coolidge. Coolidge was a man of few words. He spoke so little, he got the nickname Silent Cal. Silent Cal. Herbert Hoover. Millions of Americans lost their homes during the Great Depression. They lived in tents. People called the tent cities Hoovervilles. I think that was the fact on our last one. Franklin D. Roosevelt. Roosevelt had a disease called polio. He could not walk without crutches. But that didn't stop him from being elected president 4 times. Harry S. Truman. Truman did not have a middle name, only the letter S. His parents did that to honor both their fathers, whose names started with the letter S. That's nice. I kind of like that. Dwight D. Eisenhower. Eisenhower signed a law creating the U.S. space program. He did this after the Russians launched the first rockets into space. John F. Kennedy. Kennedy was 43 years old when he was elected president. He was the youngest man elected to the job and the youngest president to die. Lyndon B. Johnson. Johnson was famous for saying truths in a funny way. He once said, "You ain't learning nothing when you're talking." You ain't learning nothing when you're talking. Richard M. Nixon. After moving into the White House, Nixon and his daughter asked for a snack. The White House cook had to run out and buy hot dogs. Gerald R. Ford. Ford was a fashion model. His picture was in Look and Cosmopolitan magazines. Jimmy Carter. Carter was the first president to be born in a hospital. All the presidents before him had been born at home. It used to be much more common. Ronald W. Reagan. Reagan's favorite snack was jelly beans. He kept a large jar of them on his desk. I feel like that was his fact last time. He was also an actor. George H.W. Bush. Bush does not like broccoli. When he was president, he banned it from the White House. No broccoli. William J. Clinton. Clinton sent the first email into outer space. He wrote astronaut John Glenn a message while Glenn was traveling on the space shuttle. George W. Bush. Bush was head cheerleader for the football team when he was in high school. That may have been our fact last. Barack Obama. Obama met his wife, Michelle, while working an internship at a Chicago law firm. And that's where our cards stop, so that's where we will stop. So how many of those facts do you think overlapped from when we did this before? I felt like there were a few. The jelly beans, the